Okay, here this is Mongoose Jake, and as you see before you, I've got a couple of darts to compare. On the left is Nerf's Accustrike. Basically, if you've watched my dart comparison video, or just simply been, going around the YouTube or internet sites and just reading up on it, these are basically considered to be like the gold standard dart. A bit expensive, but accurate, consistent, reliable, with decent ranges. I was clued into these. These are the Jimmy Bear Accustrike copies. They are bought through AliExpress, and I was clued into them by another YouTube user named Jangular. You might be aware of him if you're into Nerf and whatnot. He has his own channel, which I'll put a link to in the description below in this video here. So look for that to give him the credit for cluing me in on this. And I put in an order for a few hundred of these, and I've been testing them. I've had them now for a couple of weeks, and we've been trying to use these as much as possible so I can give an accurate assessment of these. I don't want to just simply open a package up and then just, shoot it a couple times and tell you what I think. No, I've been using these. They've been shot. Some of these have been shot hundreds of times, if not thousands. We've had 5 Nerf wars. Actually, now that I think about it, 6 Nerf wars in the time since I received these. I ordered these way back in May, and they just showed up at the beginning of July. And of course here, it's now towards the latter part of July, so we've been using these for quite a while. But what I'm going to do is I will show you a number of guns firing these. I've got Doomland's Desolator, I've got a Hyperfire, and just slightly off I have a Doomland's Lawbringer. I've got a slightly modified Longstrike and a Busby Reaper. So I'm going to show you multiple guns firing the 2 different darts. I'll give you a little demonstration without sound. I'll just let this play and let you see for yourself how they perform. And then I'll come back onto camera and give my final word at the end. But for now, let's go on to some shooting. Okay, first up will be the Desolator firing the Accustrikes. Now I'll zoom in. Okay, next up, again, Doomland's Desolator, but this time with the Jimmy Bear darts. Now we've got the Doomland's Lawbringer with Accustrikes. Okay, now we've got the Lawbringer firing the Jimmy Bear copies. Okay, now I'm going to be using a slightly modified Longstrike with the Accustrike darts. Now again, it'll be the Longstrike, but this time with the Jimmy Bears. Okay, now I'll be using the Busby Reaper along with the Accustrike darts. There we go. Now switching over to the Jimmy Bears, still in the Reaper. Okay, now it's time for something full auto. I've got my Elite Hyperfire with a red dot and a 25 drum full of Accustrikes. Here we go. And now, Hyperfire with the Jimmy Bear Accustrike copies. Okay, now just for the heck of it, I'm going to take my highly modified Mega Big Shock that I call my Super Jolt for obvious reasons, and I'm going to put 5 shots of Accustrikes, and then I'll do 5 shots of the Jimmy Bear. And just to let you see how it performs with something that pushes well past 100 feet per second. That was the 5 Accustrikes, and now 5 of the Jimmy Bear. Okay, so here we are inside my shop. After you've seen the firing demonstrations, I wanted to go into a little bit of depth here on the 2 darts. And of course, I have the Accustrikes, a few of them here. And these are the genuine originals. And personally, up until this point, again, if you'd seen my dart comparison video, you'd seen that I compared the Accustrikes amongst all the other name brands, including Nerf Elites, the Busby darts, and by Busby darts I was meaning the gray foam, green tipped suction cups that they have been selling, not the newer ones. That's a future video. But I had also included the Dart Zone Adventure Force darts, the X-Shot darts, and my findings at the end was quite simple. If you could afford them, these are the best in the market, bar none. At that time, these were the best, and they're still very, very good. As you can see with the different guns of all blaster types, whether it was the full auto Hyperfire, whether it was a few shots out of the flywheel powered Desolator, or if it was just simply a spring powered gun like the Reaper, the Lawbringer, or even my so-called Super Jolt. All of them showed that these are more consistent than the Jimmy Bear knockoffs. These are fairly good darts. They don't quite hold up to the consistency of the Accustrikes. And I have 2 reasons why, as far as in my testing, which literally these have went through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shots fired. What you've seen was just simply a quick sample so that I could put something up for you to see with your own eyes if you're watching this video. But we've shot these in every single gun. If you watch my Arsenal video, you've seen just about every gun that we have. I have more that I've added since, but we fired these out of every single gun in the arsenal. Every single one. And barring the Accustrikes, these are the next best. And the big deal is, if you're willing to give up a little bit of the consistency of the Accustrikes, the link I'll put to these from AliExpress, I paid $7 and change per 100. That's insanely good compared to the Accustrikes. For about $7 right now you can buy a 24 pack. Keep that in mind. $7 for 24. You can use it as an add-on item. If you spend at least $25 on Amazon, you can click to add this on for $6.99 for a 24 pack. Or Target also sells those as a 24 pack for $6.99. That's 24. For about 50 cents more, you could buy 100 of these. So if you're looking for something just to carry with you and you're willing to lose a few of them, like say if you're going to a war or you're doing HVZ or anything such like that where recovery of your darts is not guaranteed, why not? I mean, these work fine. They're far, far better than Nerf Elites. They're better than all the other major brands at the time. That's not counting the new Busby darts, which I will have videos up very, very, very soon. But as far as that, these beat out the E-Kind waffle tips, in my opinion. I've shot them back and forth, because I literally have a bin of about 2,000 of the E-Kind waffle tips, and the few hundred of these I've gotten, everybody's turning and grabbing these to fill their magazines, their drums, to load their guns with, because these, I mean, they pretty faithfully copy the design of the Accustrikes. The big problem is that this tip is a little heavier, a little sturdier, a little firmer. This is a little squishier and a little bit lighter in actual dart weight. And you can actually feel it by hand. It's not just a placebo effect. And what happens is, see, in something like a stock hammer shot, which mine is completely stock as of yet. I haven't put an Orange Mod Springs kit or Orange Mod Works spring kit in it yet, but I will. I want to do that for myself and also my wife's sweet revenge. It doesn't show itself there, but the Accustrikes, they hold stability better in something that's pushing well over 100 feet per second, like this Super Jolt, or my modified Alpha Hawk, or my modified Tri-Strike. Those, they're pushing velocities that can cause instability, especially the Super Jolt. The E-Kind waffles will spin out and do a whirlybird. Well, the difference in weight becomes noticeable here, whereas these will once in a while do a whirlybird. I never have once had one out of an Accustrike. Big difference, but you pay for it. 24 of these for $7. 100 of these for $7.45 or $7.49 on AliExpress. I'll put the link in, but these are a fine, economical dart. They don't match the performance of the Accustrikes, but they're a pretty close, reasonable alternative. You know, so that's something to consider. That's my opinion. These are a fine alternative. But if you're looking for pure performance, the original Accustrikes still beat it out. But I would be remiss if in my testing, out of the few hundred we've gotten, we've had a few of these lose their tips. The glue on the Accustrikes is far, far better in holding the tip on. These, much like the E-Kind waffles, there's very little adhesive in here, so they do pull out. And something I will mention is these don't come packaged very well. And I had to wait about a month and a half to get mine. When they arrived, all they arrived was in literally a plastic bag. It had shrink wrap around. They were encased in the normal packs of 10, you know, firmly stacked up, you know, in line like this in a pack of 10, and then stacked up in rows to make the few hundred that I ordered. Well, out of the ones I ordered, there was one that was just completely unusable. It was on the corner, and the package was just crushed. Keep that in mind. That's not a bad ratio. I only had one that was completely ruined, and that's not bad. But they do not come boxed. Like E-Kind waffles come in a very, very professional looking box. They're packaged in their little sleeves, stacked up in nice neat rows, boxed up in boxes of 100, which is 10 sleeves, and then they're in a very, very professional looking cardboard box that looks like something you would find at a major retailer, sitting on the shelf. It has a barcode and everything. Very nice setup. The little Valentines that I ordered, which I can actually reach up to my shelf here and grab, they're a good way to show this. See, the little Valentines I'm going to be testing out, they come in a very, very nice box. The Jimmy Bears, unfortunately, don't. So your ratio of usable darts could vary. I have ordered off of eBay some Megas before where you get the package and literally half of the darts are smashed because in shipping they set another bigger, heavier package on top of your darts without even knowing they're darts, and they smush them. Well, that can happen. Just kind of a word to the wise. But to cut the video short and bring it to an end, the Jimmy Bear darts are worthwhile if you're going to use them at a public game, and you may lose a number of them. Now, if you know that you're going to have a good recovery rate, Accustrikes, genuine Nerf Accustrikes, are still better. But you seriously pay for the difference. Again, these are literally quadruple. Well, I shouldn't say literally. They're practically quadruple, because you pay $7 for 24, about $7.50 for 100 of these. So you get about 4 times the darts for your money. And that's what makes these usable. They're better than most. They're certainly better than Nerf Elites. And they're a lot cheaper. But this is Mongoose Jake. I hope I gave you enough information that you can make a good, wise shopping purchase and be able to decide on your own. All I'm doing is trying to represent the product as good as I can and give a in-depth, experience-based review, and hopefully that just helps cut down on maybe some trouble for those of you out there watching this video. But again, it's Mongoose Jake. Hope you enjoyed it.